Is Steph Curry the best player of our generation? When you put together championships, MVPs, points, everything all together, is he at the top? I think yes. You know who else does? Stephen A. Smith. Yes. Sometimes he has outlandish takes, but this one I completely agree with. He's better than LeBron and KD. We're going to break it all down on Warriors Digest right now. Randy Silver here. Please subscribe so you don't miss any of our daily episodes, rumors, updates, and everything for you. Let's get into it. Steph, LeBron, and KD. When we talk about how great players are, LeBron had to go to Miami to win the title. Then back to Cleveland. Kyrie had to help out LeBron. Kevin Love had to help out LeBron in Miami. D Wade was there, of course. And who else? KD. Love him. 2 chips. But he had to leave OKC, go to the Warriors to get a chip. Went to the Brooklyn Nets. Blech. Phoenix. Out. Blech. Steph Curry. Warrior for life. They built the team around him. LeBron. They tried to build a team around him. Cleveland. Woo! That's why he left. Miami. Big 3. Woo! Bangers. Lost the first one. Who'd they lose that one to? Dallas. Then they won 2, and boom, Spurs. Now, Steph Curry won the first, lost the second. What happened? KD came over, won the third and the fourth. Kind of shaded him. But no, KD leaves, and they come back and win the 4th title a couple years ago. When you put Steph's accomplishments, the best three-point shooter of all time, the best shooter of all time, the only player ever to hit 4,000 threes who will break it this year. If not this year, like upcoming season, the following season. When you look at his assists, rebounds really not there. He is one of the best players ever. In this generation, the best. LeBron, most points ever. Give him that. To be a assist person, a passer first, most points ever. He's going to finish the league with top 5 points, assists, and rebounds. He'll probably finish the league with the most combined altogether, but he'll be a top 5 in each category. But he had to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers to win the title. He left Miami, could have stayed there one more. Remember, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did not happen. And then he left Cleveland to go to the Lakers and won a title in the bubble. So, Steph, when you look at everything combined together, is the best player of his generation because he stayed with his team and what he did with one team and allowing the team to build around them. Steve Kerr, head coach. Bob Myers, putting the team around to be successful. Then what about if you look at historical? Well, there's one player people think of. Michael Jordan. Obviously, Bill Russell with the Celtics way back in the day. Different time. Could be. But how would he have done today? Who knows? So we'll talk about what people know, probably Michael Jordan. He had Scottie Pippen, but Michael Jordan stayed with one team. So in his generation, late 80s, 90s, he was the best. The best. 2000s, who's that? 2010, Kobe Bryant, RIP. Looked up to him growing up. 2010 to now, Steph Curry. Jordan stayed. Curry stayed. They built around Jordan. We all watched The Last Dance. What they had to do with that team. Early 90s. He left. Not just left the pools. He left the NBA. Came back. And they continued to build around. And almost had a second type of team in that late run. And who was part of that late run? Steve Kerr. 3-point king at that point in time. Who was he mentored by? Phil Jackson, head coach. Who does Steve Kerr coach now? The Warriors. And what has he done? Made Steph Curry the best shooter of all time. Would he have got there without Steve Kerr? Probably. But he helped open them up and take it to a different level. So that's why I think LeBron and KD are in that second tier, and Steph Curry is the greatest player of our generation. Do you agree with me? Warriors fans? Probably. If you're not a Warriors fan, you're like, Randy, that was stupid. Comment your thoughts and let me know. And secondly, speaking about LeBron, We have a big rumor mill coming out. Lakers out of the playoffs, as we know. Lost 4-1 to the Nuggets. So, is LBJ going to the Warriors? Obviously, the big storyline, trade deadline, LBJ, Warriors, talks happening between the owners. Did it happen? Did it not? Never got anywhere. But now, look at this. LeBron has the option to leave his contract. 24-25. He's getting $51 million. Anthony Davis, $43 million. Current payroll is at $178 million. They're going to be $6 million, $7 million over the salary cap. It's $171, so they're paying taxes. Now, LeBron, we know, was not happy with the team. When we look, who was he not happy with? D'Angelo Russell really did not shoot well in the playoffs. Some things going on. And then the rest of the team, a lot of those players are signed. So if they want to, they could run it back. But they don't have a lot of room when you look at the contracts of people that if you don't bring back Prince, you don't bring back Reddish, Christie, all $1 million deals, they really can't sign that many people. So is that team going to take you to the promised land? If they let him go, he can sign a bigger deal, 3 years, like almost like $60, $70 million a year, if not more. Crazy to think about. Like, look at Davis. 27, 28, he'll make $70 million a year. $70 million a year. Give it 10, 15 years next CBA, we're going to have players probably making $100 million a year. Whew. So, how would he fit in with the Warriors if he's getting $67 million a year? Well, look at the Warriors. Steph Curry locked in, $55 million. Chris Paul's contract at $30 million is up to the Warriors. So if you drop that, he's gone. Obviously, Klay Thompson, we talked about a lot, is a free agent. And then really everybody else is signed besides Dario, and GP2 is on a player option. So we got to work with that. And he said he wants to come back. We're at 174, and that's not including Chris Paul or re-signing Klay Thompson. So what does that mean? If we bring LBJ, you're going to have to trade people. We're going to be $50 million over. If you sign him, at least that puts you at, if you don't bring back Chris Paul, $225 million. So you're going to have to get rid of Wiggins. They probably play the same position anyways to make room. That takes you $26 million down. So it puts you around $150. Sign for $50 million, $200 million. So you're in that second luxury tax. And we talked about this many times on this channel. Joe Lacob, the owner, does not want to be over the second apron if they're not competing. You're paying way too much money in luxury tax. Again, right now, they're basically at the 174 committed salary. That's where they're at. They're $3 million over, but the tax penalties start at 178, so they'll be over that. Your starting five would be Steph, Draymond, LeBron, Trace Jackson Davis, or Kevon Looney and Kuminga. Is that going to win you games? Yes. Are you going to win the playoffs with that? Maybe a series, but you don't have any depth, and that's the problem. You have players signed, but your bench is young, so you have to hope your bench really does a good job at competing, getting better. Does Moody make that step? But if you bring LeBron in, does Moody have a chance to make that step? Does Kuminga have a chance to take that step? So it goes back to a couple years ago when you have this win now model while also trying to build for the future. You're trying to do two different games, and it might be too hard to do. Will I take LeBron? I don't know. I think you can get more pieces to help fill out the team to be a better, well-rounded team than just LeBron. And what you may lose by getting LeBron may not even be worth it. So I don't think you go for LeBron. If you don't re-sign Chris Paul, which I talked about, I think you need him, not $30 million, backup point guard. You did a great job. Then you need someone in to come as a point guard, and you need better length. So we need someone to really come in, and we've put on some trades, trading with potentially Toronto, maybe Chicago. How can we get some big men to come in? Maybe someone comes in on the free agency. So there's some moves the Warriors can make. What do you think? LBJ, Warriors, good move, bad move? Comment your thoughts. And of course, subscribe here to Warriors Digest. We have all the news for you daily, breaking it down. Until the next one.